The mouse is currently top of the tree for December 2024, but should you go ahead and grind it? Well, yes, you should. It is one of the most well-armored tanks in the game, and most people just don't know how to play the tank. And you'll see this all the time by people saying that it has no armor, has this, that, or the other wrong with it. The mouse is incredibly frustrating to play against if you meet a good player. And in this video, I'm going to be going through the entire line and telling you what exactly makes the mouse so great. Now, because the mouse and the Panzer 7 both share the same tech tree up until the tier 8, I'm not going to be going back through the Panzer 4H, the VK31P, and the Tiger P. If you want to watch my thoughts and opinions on those vehicles, you can go ahead and watch the Panzer 7 video, and there are timestamps in that description to go to those tanks. Once you've watched that, you can come back to this video, and I'm going to be continuing on from the VK1001P. The VK1001P is one of the most dominant vehicles at tier 8. And the reason being is that it's very, very good at blocking damage. It is highly sought after to do the campaign missions for the 260, the 279, any blocking mission that requires a heavy tank. You can do it in this vehicle. Now, when you first get this tank, you are given a 10.5cm gun. However, you want to quickly upgrade to the 12.8 as soon as possible. You're then up from your 320 alpha damage to now 440, and your standard pen goes up from 200 to 220, premium rounds 244 to 260. Your DPM does go down, and your accuracy and aim time also go up. However, this isn't the end of the world considering what role this tank plays. It is very, very much an up-close and personal style tank. Now, as I said, this tank is very, very good at blocking damage, and I'm going to show you why. This is TankGG, where you can go and check out all the armor models for every single tank, and also the stats in-game as well. Some of them that you don't even see. The VK, if we go have a look at the live model, looks like this against itself, firing 220 standard rounds. As you can see, it can't even pen itself in the turret cheeks, on the upper hull, or even really in the cupola. This cupola is not just perfectly flat, it has loads of little kind of rectangles all angled up to then go around each side. Which means that as you go around, you can see those rectangles suddenly appear and become weaker at different angles. Now, if we do go ahead and fire the premium rounds, which is 260 pen, yes, the cupola becomes a lot easier to pen. And yes, you can pen those turret cheeks and even below the gun on the turret ring, but only in the center of the turret ring. So no matter where you're looking on the turret ring, that is where you'll be able to pen with your around about 240-ish pen. But you need to be careful about the cupola. As I said, this has all got little rectangles that are all going upwards, and they all suddenly change angles very, very quickly. And if your shell does go to the right, to the left, you'll bounce, even with premium rounds. But you might look at this and say, well, that's really easy to pen. That's 220 millimeters thick. If you come up against tier 6s, they can't pen you. Now, where this tank really does shine is when you're side scraping though, because when you do, you almost just become impenetrable. Now, unless the person knows what they're doing, and you can easily kind of rectify this issue as well if the person does know what they're doing by rocking backwards and forwards and just being very annoying, they'll then go for your turret ring, or your side armor here on the cheeks, or the cupola. They can't pen you anywhere else. When you're side scraping, it is impossible to pen this. Obviously, right here, they maybe could if they have a lot of pen, but in tier 8s, that's not happening. And you can angle even way too much than you think, and this is still very, very, very difficult to be able to pen. You can get away with over-angling this tank, the Mouse and the mouse, pretty far, further than you might think, and then you suddenly think to yourself, oh, I don't know how I bounced that. But that's because the side armor on these tanks are just insane. Now, the optimal angle is around about here, and you want to just try and turn your turret a little bit towards them so that it's kind of a little bit towards them. Like, it's not a lot, because this tank is a bit weird because it has the kind of bowing into the middle towards your gun and then around from your gun. So the only way that they really pen is through the turret cheek here, the cupola, or in the turret ring. The turret ring is the most guaranteed pen, but if you're rocking backwards and forwards, it's a little bit harder to do. And then when the time comes, you then just turn around, you put one into their face, and you just turn around again to around about there. Don't overdo it like you would in a mouse, because that then becomes a lot weaker and easily pennable. The only thing that you need to watch out for is the lower plate here, because that will become very weak. And no matter what you kind of do, it's not going to be able to have an auto ricochet angle or anything like that on this tank. It's not like the Panzer 7 or something of that kind of similar nature. Now, obviously, against something like 340 heat, you're not going to survive very long. And, I mean, hull armor-wise, you're pretty good. Like, this is very, very effective, but the turret does start to fall apart against 340 heat. Although, hopefully, you don't meet that too often. Anyway, now I'm going to show you some gameplay in the vehicle, and then we're going to go back and give it a rating. Imagine how much fun the squalls must be having. What's the bet? My squall dies. Did he just try to shoot our own team? Alright, well, okay, let's continue. I should really go around this way, but it should be okay. Good trade. Oh, the ballerina, IS-22. Where are you at? I'm really needing to side scrape here, so let's try that again, shall we, Max? Contradictress is on his own, it seems. I mean, we're all pushing through, so we'll soon find out if he's on his own. Well, he didn't shoot the Grom. I shot him. Nice. Very, very good. XM just fired, so he has a big reload. Hello, sir. He has the big gun, but he's using AP. I can't do anything against him. He pens me every time. Okay, aiming like a bot. Very cool. I really want to side scrape on this corner. Right, did they both just fire? I'm not sure. 384. Not a very good roll. He's going to die now to the XM. At least I would have thought he would. Yeah. One into this IS-3. It's an easier target to hit. I mean, we're winning this side, but we still need to push through. Okay. Alright, now we try and push through into the Progetto. I mean, everyone else is at the back. There's still the XM57, the Scorpion, and the G-Saw, all that have been unspotted, so I'm guessing they're all going to be sitting at the back as well. This is the point where the game could just be over, like, instantly. Let's see. Can we get a shot out? No, is the answer. Although the Progetto doesn't have view range, so interesting. Very nice. I'm still a bit worried about the XM. I don't really know where he is. I think he might be up there, so we'll try and cross and not get spotted by him. There's the G-Saw. The Grom might spot this. Although he might die before he even gets that. Can't really do anything about the G-Saw. We'll go up to here. I'm not even too sure what spotted me. It might have been the XM that spotted me. Oh? Wait. Unfortunate. Oh, look at the Alpine Tiger racing to the XM. Alright, we just keep going. We take a shot from the XM. Hopefully it's not too bad. You know, he has 6... whatever it is. Is it 630 alpha? He has a weird like alpha damage, doesn't he? Or is it 650? I don't know. Either way. Hopefully he doesn't hire or set us on fire or ammo us. XM! Hello, friend! Friend? Look, I've knocked down trees. You know I'm coming. I mean, he definitely knows I'm here now. I have low-rolled a lot in this game. He also reloads before me, I'm pretty sure. A bit of assistance, that's not too bad. Oh, actually, low-rolled... not... yeah, a fair amount, actually. We low-rolled on the Oho, we low-rolled on the IS-3, the XM, a few high rolls here and there, but... apply. So to give the VK1001P a rating, I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10. It's a very, very solid vehicle. If you get into correct matches and matchups, you're unstoppable. And if you don't get into those, you just play a little bit more passively and you can still do a lot of damage with that gun, because the gun really is quite nice as well. Moving up to tier 9 with the Malshan. This is awful. This might be one of the worst tier 9s in the game. And as you can see, I've never played this tank on this account. It's horrible. The only good thing is probably the guns. You start out with the gun that you were just using from the previous tank, exactly the same, a little bit more DPM though. But the other gun, the upgraded gun, you then get 490 alpha, 246 standard pen, and 311 APCR. You also get slightly more DPM, your dispersion's gone down, and your aim time's gone down. This is actually the exact same gun that the mouse gets, it's just that you have slightly worse overall stats in comparison to it. And welcome to the 3D model of the Moishan, or Malshan, however you want to pronounce it. You notice anything about this tank? Yes, it has a big fat cupola on top of the tank. Not only that, but if you go to the live view, the turret cheeks are so weak. Remember, we're up to tier 9 now. This 240 pen, pretty much everybody's going to go through you. And you just load gold, bang. Turret cheeks, no longer an issue. Cupola, oh my god. And that cupola is visible everywhere. It doesn't matter what the Malshan is doing, you are always going to have this cupola visible. You can sometimes go around a corner and hide it. True. Most of the time though, you're going to be trying to side scrape and then you expose this and you get shot here. Now when you're side scraping in this tank, yes, it's the same story as the VKP. It's pretty damn good. You can side scrape very effectively. There is no chance of them really going through this. Even tier 10s are going to struggle against you. However, that cupola exists. It's going to be just a catastrophe every single time you want to try and do something. And not to mention, you do not have a mouse turret. This turret, again, bows inwards, which means when you try to angle your turret to try and give it the full mouse experience, you then present yourself with a lovely flat surface that everybody will go through, if they don't already go for the cupola. Now, it's not quite as bad as the VKP, because you can aim slightly away from them, and it still then prevents them from just going straight through here, but they'll still just go through your turret cheeks every single time. And I'm still showing you it with premium rounds, because if you're not shooting premium at a mouse, or a Malshan, or a VK, you're just doing it wrong. Now, the cupola is 220-ish millimeters thick, 220, 240, depending on the angle. This will be a problem for tier 7s and some tier 8s. That's true. But in your own tier, you're just going to get absolutely slaughtered. Unless you get some massive low roll or you get very unlucky and it goes wide, left or right, you are penning this 100% of the time. Once again though, you can over-angle this and you're relatively safe. You do need to be careful though, because you are approaching higher tiers, and lots of people who have 320 APCR, for example, will go straight for your tracks at this angle. So you need to make sure that you're not over-angled too much. Angle about this kind of area, you're good. Anyway, time for some gameplay in the Malshan, which we got into a very interesting game. There we go. I'm sure the Conqueror's having fun. Ah, they've all started going around this way. Okay, well, I'll just go down here then. We don't really need to fight these. Do I have a shot at the Mr. Conqueror? Not currently. What about the Toro? What's he doing? Toro! That was pretty close. Yeah, sure. You know what? Sure. Uh-huh. This M3Y is not having a good time. They're really not having a good time, are they? At least we can start the side scrape here, though. I know I'm firing APCR, but it really wouldn't make any difference here. Like on the TS-54. I need it for the E-75 afterwards anyway. I am worried about what's at the back of the map, although everything has been spotted, so there shouldn't really be too much at the back. That's annoying. I needed to get him. I think I just ignore this. Once into you. Now we start trading one-on-one. Although you have a much... Okay. Set you on fire, maybe? These. That's okay. I mean, this could have gone a lot better. I needed the that guy to die earlier, but there was no real chance to do it. At T-54, I don't really know what he's doing though. Where's he looking? Why didn't he just clip the E-75 as he was pushing me? I thought that like that was the entire like reason why I was so confident with him. He's just fired! Go! Kill him! Oh! Mate, what are you doing? What? Do you have a single shotgun that I don't know about or something? It's Conqueror's full health as well. What is going on? It's going to take a Progetto to come and kill him. Look, he's on his way. These can't be real people. Like, they can't be real people that I'm with. Is the Conqueror, like, crashed or something? I don't get it. Wait, look, the Progetto is now... The Progetto has a brain. He moved around and flanked and killed the E-75. At least we have the Progetto on our team. Is the Conqueror, like, there? He must be... He's either crashed or gone for lunch? This guy's gaming. Like, this guy's actually gaming. You'll take a hit from that, but you'll kill him. I might have spoken too soon. Okay, right. It's okay. He had another shot. Oh, the T-54 is pushed up. It's a miracle. Actual miracle. All we need now is for the other side to die. WZ. Why are you auto-aiming? When they peek out again... No? No? You have 395 heat, by the way. He's pushing. Okay, nice. Artillery kills him. Progetto is still gaming over the other side of the map, by the way. Next time he peeks... 750... Right, back to you. Please somehow win this game. You're the only person that has a brain left. Right, you need to kill this guy pretty fast, although going up here is now presenting yourself to the Leo PTA, who will then die. Right. Oh, don't go back down. The PTA is just going to come around and kill you. Oh, God. Right. Mr. Single Shotgun has decided to come back to base. I'm not too sure if the T-30 is going to push this way, but... Anyway, back to Conqueror FM. It's going well. Does he spot through this bush? He's going to die because he can't see... The Leo PTA... The Leo PTA has gone into our base. I don't think he makes it back in. Stop moving! Why are you moving? Stop! Stop! Why would you go closer? T-30 could be there! What is going on? What have I just watched? Apply. So the Mausian, to give it a rating out of 10. 3 out of 10. Moving on to the mouse. Speaking of which, the mouse at tier 10. The beautiful, beautiful mouse. This thing gets exactly the same gun as the Mausian, but you have more DPM, better accuracy, and better aim time. you still have that 490 Alpha with 246 standard rounds and 311 APCR premium pen. So gun has stayed exactly the same, just better soft stats. Or well, not even really soft stats, but you get what I mean, DPM wise. And here we now learn how to play the mouse and how to angle a mouse. You'll see the mouse is very much like the Motion, but without a cupola, and also with a completely flat side armor for the turret. It's actually sloped upwards, which is even more of a benefit to you. When we go ahead and look at the live model, you'll see that it is now 260mm thick, which you may think, well, that's not very good. It is. Because this tank, this is basically the only balancing factor of this vehicle. If this had an impenetrable turret, you would all cry. If this turret got buffed, it would be the most broken tank in the entire game. You'll also see that the lower plate is around about 250mm thick, head on. If you then angle it, you just don't pen this. This is with its standard rounds. You do not pen a mouse if you're using around about 250 pen. If we then go ahead and use the premium rounds, you'll see that the turret becomes very, very weak. And 260 pen, more than, we have 311. This is not an issue for the mouse, or to go through the mouse if you're in another tank that has more pen than this. When you side scrape though, you hide that lower plate, you can only expose this, and then you think to yourself, well, look, the turret cheeks are still there. You just do this. Good luck. Because unlike the VKP and unlike the Motion, when this is completely flat, it's just an auto bounce near enough. Because you're going to need 390 to 360 pen to go through this with APCR, and if this was a heat round, and you went and used heat, it's still exactly the same. You need about 400 pen to go through this. Now, if you're in the Jagdpanzer 8100, this might not be an issue for you, or even a Hori 3, it might not be so much of an issue. However, for most tanks in the game that aren't high pen tank destroyers, you are going to struggle massively against a well-angled mouse. The only way that you can actually pen it is by going through the turret ring at the bottom here, and even then, that's 330 heat that you'll need. And if you're using, say, your mouse, against itself with its APCR, you're going to need about 315. You have a 40% chance of going through that. And to show you how much you need to angle, if you were looking at it from, what you would see in game, it's around about this much that you need to angle your turret if you are saying, someone head on or slightly angled around about there. Because if they are about there, it's then very, very hard for them to go through this. Going back to the live model, you'll see right there. So to those of you that say the mouse doesn't have armor, you just don't play it correctly. Like that's the hard truth about it. And even I don't angle this well in the mouse. It's a hard thing to do. I make mistakes. I don't angle it correctly. I then get shot. But that's not the fault of the mouse. That's the fault of me as a player. It is a skill issue on my behalf. Now, those of you that are very, very, very well versed in the mouse or dealing with mouses will know that there is still a way of penning this tank not 100% of the time, but quite effectively. And that is in the gun. Because you see, this isn't actually shown in Tank GG, but if you go here, it's 270mm thick. And as long as you don't actually hit the gun, and you only hit the gun mantlet, and go around about plus or minus, up and down from the gun, you'll pen it with relative ease. However, if the mouse is then going backwards and forwards and rotating like this, it makes it very hard, especially if it's wiggling the turret. If it's wiggling the turret like this, for example, and you're trying to hit this, it's very easy to suddenly miss and then hit the turret. So you need to make sure that you are wiggling the turret a little bit, but not overdoing it so that then everything becomes weak. Anyway, it's time for some gameplay in the mouse, and then we'll wrap this up with the rating overall. Do I want to go to A2? Probably not. I think B2 is looking much better. Well, plenty of people have crossed over to A1. If I go to B3, it's actually kind of annoying. Because if you get stuck at B2, 3, you then have to go back, and sometimes you don't even have support, so... Maybe I will just go and sit here and just support the 780. Standard rounds really are abysmal in this tank, aren't they? That nearly missed. That was such bad aim. Okay. This is so far so good, actually. We get to somewhat control what we're shooting at. I need to use my hit points in a second, but not quite yet. He's just shot, so what I might do now is just push in. The most I take now is another one from him, maybe. You going down? Off you go. Bye. Now we go back up. Try and deal with this 62p. 268 at the very back of the map probably. Yes, he is. And there's also the Yak Tiger issue. But if we hug the left-hand side, we should be okay. We're going to take one from this. Oh, being stunned is really not good. But this is where we have all our hit points still available, so we can use them to our advantage. Lovely. We're just going to get perma-stunned now. I need to try and face hug him if I can. There we go. One into his cupola as well. Lovely. I'll just keep ramming him, make him be annoying. Very nice. Very, very nice. He's roughly there. We'll see if that one hit after the game. Oh, where's the Type 71 gone? I forgot about him. I think I pushed him down the hill and then I forgot about him. Where? Come back, sir? Sir? Where's he gone? Is he still here? Wait. He's gone on an adventure? How did he get out without getting spotted? I'm not even too sure how he's managed that. That's quite impressive. Look at him go. Oh, such a depressing end of the game, man. Oh, he's back. I missed. We did hit the artillery. Lovely. See? 3.9. Very nice. So to give the mouse a rating overall, this is going to get a 9. And I was very tempted to give it a 10. However, I don't think the penetration is really up to scratch with, say, some other tanks, especially if you are going to be face-hugging other heavy tanks. The standard rounds are basically useless on this tank, and the premium rounds are fine, I think is the best way of putting them. But the way that it plays its role is why it's a 9 out of 10. Because it's not comparing it to other tanks. There are many, many tanks that are better than this vehicle in today's world of tanks. But does that mean that it deserves to be at a 5 out of 10 in comparison to them that are maybe 10 out of 10s? No. Because it's about how this tank plays its role and what it was made to do. And it was made to be that frontline tank that baits people into ricocheting and performs just at its best in front of someone to smack them in the face for 490 alpha and then just turn a turret, rinse and repeat. You have such good armor and such a high skill cap as well that usually it is either the fault that the game is just too fast, in which case then that's not really the fault of the tank, that's more a fault of how the games are nowadays, or it's the fault of the player that you do bad in the mouse. So yes, the mouse is well worth the grind. and it's well worth learning. This is one of those tanks that once you actually get to tier 10, it takes some considerable amount of learning to actually knock out great games. So thank you very much for watching. Consider leaving a like and subscribe. It helps me out greatly, and I'll see you all in the next one.